So this book doesn't have chapter numbers. It just says, like, this one's called Hollywood 2009. Paparazzi, 4 deep, elbowed each other along the red carpet. My husband, Patton, mugged for the cameras in a smart blue pinstripe suit. Flash bulbs deluged. A dozen hands thrust microphones from behind the metal barricade. Adam Sandler appeared. Attention shifted. Clamor ratcheted. Then Judd Apatow, Jonah Hill, Chris Rock. It was Monday, July 20th, 2009, a little after 6 p.m. We were at the ArcLight Cinemas in Hollywood for the premiere of the movie Funny People. Somewhere there's probably an unused photograph of a celebrity, and in the background is a woman in a black shift dress and comfortable shoes. I look dazed and exhilarated, and I'm staring at my iPhone because at that moment, as some of the world's biggest stars brush against me, I've just learned that a fugitive I've been hunting for and obsessing over, a double murderer on the run in the West and Northwest for the past 37 years, has been found. I dodged behind a concrete column and called the one person I knew would care about the news as much as I did, Peter King, a longtime reporter for the Los Angeles Times who now worked in media relations for the University of California. He picked up right away. "Pete, do you know?" I said. I could barely get the words out fast enough. "Know what?" I just got an email with a link to a news story. There's been a shootout in some remote mountains in New Mexico. 2 people are dead, a sheriff's deputy and the guy they were after, a kind of mysterious mountain man stealing from cabins. "No," Pete said. "Yes," I said. "They fingerprinted the mountain man." I admit I paused here for maximum dramatic effect. "Joseph Henry Burgess," I said. "Pete, we were right. He was out there all this time." Our stunned silence lasted only a moment. I knew Pete wanted to get to a computer. The premiere organizers were herding people inside. I could see Patton scanning for me. "Find out more," I told Pete. "I can't. I'm at a thing." This thing was not my thing. I realize confiding unease with movie premieres isn't the most relatable hang-up and falls under the exasperated must-be-nice category. I get it. Bear with me. I'm not being falsely humble when I say that I haven't yet attended a Hollywood event where someone hasn't tucked in a tag, adjusted a button, or told me I had lipstick on my teeth. I once had event coordinator bat my fingers from my mouth when I was biting my nails. My red carpet pose can best be described as ducked head, half crouch. But my husband's an actor. I love him and admire his work and that of our friends, and occasionally attending these events is part of the deal. So you get fancily dressed and sometimes professionally made up. A driver in town car picks you up, which makes you feel weird and apologetic. An upbeat public relations person you don't know leads you onto a red carpet where you're shouted at to look here and here at hundreds of strangers with flashbulbs for faces. And then, after those brief moments of manufactured glamour, you find yourself in a regular old creaky movie theater seat, sipping Diet Coke from a sweaty plastic cup and salting your fingers with warm popcorn. Lights dim, mandated enthusiasm begins. Walking into the after party, Patton was introduced to the directors of Crank, an action movie he loves, starring Jason Statham. He began regaling them with his favorite bits from the movie. Gay them for Stratham, he confessed. After we parted ways with the directors, we paused and surveyed the crowd cramming into the ballroom at the Hollywood and Highland Center. Drinks, gourmet mini cheeseburgers, and maybe even Gary Shandling's and Idol Patton's awaited us. Patton read my mind. "No problem," he said. A friend intercepted us on our way out. "Getting back to baby?" she said with a warm smile. Our daughter Alice was 3 months old. "You know how it is," I said. The truth, of course, was much weirder. I was foregoing a fancy Hollywood party to return not to my sleeping infant, but to my laptop, to excavate through the night in search of information about a man I had never met, who'd murdered people I didn't know. Violent men unknown to me have occupied my mind all my adult life. Long before 2007, when I first learned of the offender I would eventually dub the Golden State Killer. The part of the brain reserved for sports statistics or dessert recipes or Shakespeare quotes is, for me, a gallery of harrowing aftermaths. A boy's BMX bike, its wheels still spinning, abandoned in a ditch along a country road, a tuft of microscopic green fibers collected from the small of a dead girl's back. To say I'd like to stop dwelling is beside the point. Sure, I'd love to clear the rot. I'm envious, for example, of people obsessed with the Civil War, which brims with details but is contained. In my case, the monsters recede but never vanish. They are long dead and being born as I write. God, I love this woman's writing. Side note. The first one, Faceless and Never Caught, marked me at 14, and I've been turning my back on good times in search of answers ever since.